Hey Classy Career Girl Network, it's Anna back here to answer your questions about part 2 of our Freedom Workshop. I am really enjoying seeing all of your comments below the videos of our workshop videos. It's really fun to interact with you guys, see what you guys are learning, kind of see your why, like why do you want to have your dream businesses? That was the question for video 1. And then today it's really fun to go in there and see what you guys are learning in video 2. And everyone's takeaway is something different. So it's really fun to see what that takeaway is for all of you guys, because there is a lot in that video, I know. Wanted to feature one of your guys's one lucky comment, because it's the one that stood out to me this morning. It was from Tony Ricci Berry, and she says, I feel as though I've been running my business while in a deep sleep, and you've come along to wake me up. So I don't know if anyone else feels that way, but it is that time of year to kind of wake up and really take control of your life and your business and where you want to be by the end of this year. So I thought that would kind of kick us off on today's Q&A call. If you know of anyone else who would like this content, would like this free workshop, please share it with them. I would really, really appreciate it. As you can see, we put a lot of time and effort into this workshop, into the videos and editing and the workbooks that go along with it. So I would really appreciate it. Obviously, I want to get this out to as many women as I can. So if you could share it with someone who is considering starting a business or has a current business, I would really, really appreciate that. So if you have not signed up yet and you're joining us, maybe you just joined this group for the first time, access to the Freedom Workshop can be found at www.corporaterescueplan.com/freedom, and that's where you can learn more about it. So definitely let me know if you're here with me today. Let me know what questions you have. We have a couple questions. Looks like we have Kang with us. Hi, Kang. If you have questions, feel free to post them in the comments below, and I will see them as they pop up. A couple questions came in earlier today, so I'm going to answer those. Also, tomorrow is the launch of our release of video 3, which is the startup blueprint, and that's something definitely to be keeping an eye out for, especially the PDF that goes with it, because there's a lot of great stuff in that PDF. Of course, the video is great as well, but really we're going to cover kind of like the phases of it going from employee to entrepreneur, and also kind of some of the common roadblocks that come up and what I've seen over and over again and how to get past them and move forward with reaching your goals for your business. So that will be really important as well. So today, bring on your questions. I am here and ready for them. You guys know I love this Q&A time. I love talking about this stuff. Donalyn is with us. Hey, Donalyn. And so basically we're going to talk about the Freedom Roadmap. So any questions you have about websites or mindset or your lead magnet or social media. And then also in video 2, we did some teaching on creating your offer. So if you have any questions about your offer or anything like that, we would love to tackle those as well. So keep the questions coming. Let's jump into a couple that came in beforehand. So one of them that came in beforehand, this is a really good example. Okay, so this is from Jennifer Corcoran, and she said, I learned how important it is to make an initial launch offer in order to attract attention and sales. Because how often do we like put our stuff out there, but we forget to actually make the offer? And I know this is something I have done in the past too. Like, you put out all these great blog posts, but then you forget to actually sell what it is you have because you're afraid to sell. So Jennifer learned in the second video that you have to actually create an offer. So that's good, right? So she said, if you were launching again, what kind of an offer deadline would you put? Is 1 month feasible? So I think 1 month might be a little bit long, Jennifer. I would probably make it a little bit shorter, more like 5 days-ish. That's probably what I would do if you were giving them some sort of deadline. I know when I was doing a lot of coaching calls over the phone, I would do a lot of free coaching sessions that led into my courses or my group coaching programs, and I always gave some sort of like discount if they purchased on the call with me, or if they purchased the day of the call, because sometimes they had to go home and talk with their significant other or something like that. So that was the deadline that I would give them, because people are most excited to purchase something when they are like talking with you that moment. And when they get off the phone, they're going to get busy and onto life and may not realize, again, how important it is to work with you. So that might be something you want to think of. You guys know when I do webinars, we always have like a deadline the day of that webinar is running, like the time that the webinar is running, there's a deadline, because I know if people are on the webinar, they're the most excited to join our programs and to take action and move forward when they're like actually listening to it. When they go back to their office and, you know, go to sleep, read a book, they might forget about what was on the webinar and how excited and pumped they were to actually make that change in their life. So I'm more of a fan of like the shorter term deadlines. Let's see. She also said, I never considered a lead magnet. I'm rubbing my head now trying to figure out what I could give away. Blogging will be one of my services, so do you think I could include some top blog tips? Yes, definitely. That's a good one. Could you include previous blogs, even if they were a year or two old, as not all potential customers may have read them? Definitely. So when you're thinking of initially creating your lead magnet, I would always recommend kind of looking at what you already have. And so if you've been blogging for a while, you can easily collect some of those blogs and put them into a little guide or ebook or PDF. Very quickly, and then you can start growing your list today or tomorrow. Like, this is something you don't want to wait on. I know when I started back in 2010, it's kind of one of those things I'll always look back at and be like, why didn't I start my email list sooner? Because it took me a whole year to actually start the email list, and I had so many blog posts and so many viewers by then. And so it's just one of those things I'll always be like, well, what would I have gotten on that email list if I had started it a year earlier? Because the second I started it, I got an opt-in like right away, and it kept growing from there. So you never want to wait. So if there's something that you already have, content you already have, I would recommend getting that up as quickly as possible and putting it into a lead magnet. Don't worry too much about it being super long and big. Jenna says, I wish I would have started mine day one as well. Exactly. Yeah, but you're starting yours today. Good, Jenna. A big shout out to Jenna. She launches her book today. I think I saw it already has made Amazon list, number 3 bestsellers list. So big shout out to Jenna. She is one of our corporate recipe plan members. And it's the same way with, I think, anyone you ask, if they didn't start their list from the very beginning, it's like, oh, why didn't I do that? So don't wait any longer. And also know that a lead magnet, you really want to make it short and sweet so people can move forward with it quickly and take action on it quickly. So often, the best ones for us are like cheat sheets or like a simple, handout, something very quick. The answer to one of our top ones is like the answer to 10 interview questions. We have resume templates. Anytime you can give like a template to make things easier for people. Anytime you can answer the questions that are like often coming up over and over again, like what are people asking you about? I think it's harder in the beginning because you feel like this one thing has to cover everything. And I know that was the case for me because I had a lot of different markets that I was working on in the beginning, and I was helping a lot of different types of people. So it was really hard for me to pick that one lead magnet. But just know eventually, if you're in my community for very long, something that I recommend is kind of having that specific lead magnet for each blog post that you put out. So if you guys go to our blog, when we have these like big, really good blog posts, I always like to create a lead magnet that matches that blog post. So for example, if someone comes looking for resume advice to our blog, and I have like spent so much time putting together this resume article, well, I will create one email opt-in for, so like resume tips, or basically you can get that blog post as a PDF. So you don't have to like always go back to this blog post, but you can just have it as your own PDF. So you can get the notes. Maybe in that blog post, I would have like a resume template that they could opt in for. So it's specifically geared to that post. Donalyn says, how should I develop a lead magnet for a series of art workshops courses for art educators? I'm thinking doing a simple half-hour speed workshop to introduce new courses that are arts. So the bottom cut off, but I think I got your question, Donalyn. Okay, so I think for you, I would probably recommend So I'm guessing that you're going to do online workshops, online courses for your art workshops. So think back to like, what is that like very first thing that you want them? What is that very first thing that they need to tackle before they start coming to your workshop? Like, what is that like pre-work that you want them to know or learn, or what do they really want as well? I think, something I have always had is like, I want them to know these 5 things before they start any of my courses, right? Like there's things I want them to know. So that's a good lead magnet. But more importantly, what do they really want to know? Like, what are those things that they keep asking you for? So art educators, I would think that art educators, maybe they want some simple tips for teaching art or something like that, or maybe how to keep their students engaged. Things that they would really, really want and they perhaps are asking you about. Perhaps I should do a blanket survey. You should definitely do a survey in the very beginning of starting any business or growing any business. You really want to know what their biggest, so the survey can be super simple. You can just ask, super simple questions. Ask them, what are their frustrations with teaching art? Like, what are some of those biggest frustrations that they have? And then what is the goal for their art classroom? Like, what is the goal? Where do they want their students to be? Where do they want to be themselves? And you can just flat out ask them, like, what could I provide that you would be really interested in for? Like, what kind of information do you really want? You can talk to them. You can just really dive into their heads and figure out kind of what their biggest frustrations are. I think that's the biggest thing. And then asking them, like, what could you create? The biggest thing about lead magnets as well that I'm starting to learn, I've learned now with this free 90-day planner that you guys have seen, is I love giving things away that I would actually charge for. So that free planner is, when I created it in August, I was planning to charge for it. I was planning to launch it at the same time, but I had a plan to put it in my shopping cart, and then just something clicked, and I think it was like November. I was like, I'm just gonna give this away for free. Like, why not? And that's when things go really viral, is when you give something you would so good that you would charge for it, and you give that away for free. So that's my new model for lead magnets. But in the beginning, I don't want you guys to get overwhelmed. I want you just to get something out there. And sometimes those simple cheat sheets, 1-page handouts are the easiest. Like how about that, Donna Lynn? How about the recommended tools list for art educators? Like, what is the list of resources and tools that you found helpful? That might do really well. Donalyn says, I do have a set of descriptions from some past conferences. They may actually be good to use. They were from the conference catalog. So yeah, so that could be good for sure. Okay, so keep the questions coming if you guys have any. Let's dive into our second question. Came in from Peggy on, and these are the questions in the comments I've been looking at on the video pages. She says, it's a little challenging to apply some of this information to my brick and mortar hamster wheel, but I'm thinking. So this might cover some of you guys too. I know Peggy has a bed and breakfast because I've talked with her before. But I think some of you guys are out there too who may have actual physical products. And I don't want, whatever you do, don't think that this just applies to coaches or consultants or anything like that, or service-based business owners. Everything that I'm teaching in the Freedom Workshop applies to you as well. We even had, I was talking to one member in Corporate Rescue Plan yesterday who has a nonprofit organization. And I was talking her through it, and all of the same things that we teach in the Freedom Workshop and Corporate Rescue Plan, like, really all apply to, she was trying to attract donors. And it's the same thing. It's the same marketing. You need a lot of these same steps to attract donors as attract clients as well. So, so that's my big caveat for brick and mortar business. So if you're struggling with lead magnets, in video 3 in the blueprint, we'll have a lot of different ideas for you for your lead magnet. But if you are a physical location, if you are a shop, or if you're thinking of starting anything like that, I think it's really important to remember that all these same things apply. You still need the website, right? Because people, I know when I want to go to a physical restaurant or location or get my nails done or hair done, like, I always look at their website first. If they don't have a website, I probably won't go there. So website's really important. I still think a blog is important to show the pictures, to give, to kind of get your SEO up as well, to get your writing out there. I also love websites because, and this is kind of advanced, but for like a physical location and even any sort of like e-commerce online business that's selling products, if you have a website, you can track who's actually coming to your website and you can retarget them with a Facebook ad. I know that sounds advanced and it might sound scary to a lot of you guys just starting, but just know that if you've ever like been on someone's website and then like 30 seconds later you're on Facebook and you see their ad, that's called Facebook retargeting, and it's because that website has a pixel on their website, so they're tracking who comes to their website and then retargeting them with a Facebook ad. So I think any person selling any sort of product, any brick and mortar business needs to get into Facebook retargeting and figuring out how they can build their website so that they can be tracking who's coming. Because then if you're retargeting them, with an ad, or you're trying to get their email list. Email list is another thing that's really important too, because you want to be following up with your customers. So Becky had a great example of if she's a bed and breakfast. Okay, so let's talk about Peggy here. So if I went to her bed and breakfast, and I don't know why some places don't do this and should be doing this more in using their email list. So I go to her bed and breakfast. I stay there. I love it, right? And then I leave and I'm doing my day-to-day life, but I had so much fun at her bed and breakfast. Well, maybe 3 months later, she sends me an email and gives me a discount because I'm a prior visitor of her bed and breakfast. And maybe because I had so much fun, I will take advantage of that discount and go back. And so that's really the advantage of the email list, is being able to send them promotions. Maybe in your bed and breakfast, you open up a new room, or you add some new thing in the backyard, or you have a party there sometime and you want to get in touch with your prior customers or clients. Maybe it's just as simple as just giving them an update about your bed and breakfast, like saying Happy New Year, giving them, some exciting things that are happening. Maybe you hired a new employee and you're just kind of keeping it real and friendly and staying engaged with them so that they remember you when it comes time to booking their trip again. When I was thinking about this, I was thinking about my husband, because I think he's listening right now, he is on the hook to, one of our New Year's resolutions is to plan 2 couples getaways for the year. And he volunteered to take control of that and plan the trips. And so I was thinking of him about, if he got an email about going to maybe some of the places we've been married for over 10 years. So if he got an email from one of the locations maybe that we spent, that we went somewhere in the first year of our marriage and they offered a discount to go back, I think he would jump on that. And even if he if he got an email, or if he was following them on social media, maybe he follows the hotel we stayed at on social media, on Instagram, and that popped up on his feed with like a video of like a romantic getaway or something, maybe he would just book that. And so you're making it simple for like guys like that, right? And so you're making it simple for all of us who want to do that stuff, but we're very, very busy. So we need the quick getaway, the quick thing that we can book. And being on social media, you're just kind of staying top of mind. So that's why I see it's so important, if you're selling any sort of product, if you're a brick and mortar business, that you're using the hashtags, you're giving people beautiful images of your store, and then also, or like your location, wherever you are. So we want to come back, we want to go into your store. So those were some of my ideas for you. I think lead magnets for a brick and mortar, I think that could be, a lead magnet can be a coupon even. So I know at Bed Bath & Beyond, I was shopping there, I think about a month ago for a new dresser for my daughter, and they gave me, I think right when I went to their website, it did a pop-up that said, if you put in your name and email address, we'll email you a discount for 20% off. And I was about to buy something anyways, so I immediately put in my name and email address and got the discount, paid for the dresser. Now, obviously, I'm still on their email list, so I think they send me deals like every single day. I probably need to unsubscribe, but I'm staying subscribed because I know that I also need a few other things around the house. So when it's time for me to have the chance to buy a couple other things around the house, I'll go back to the emails and I'll use the discount again, and I'll purchase their product because they're top of mind. They keep emailing me every single day with the discount, and I know I need to buy some stuff from there. So a lead magnet can be a coupon. Okay. And then also I was thinking for you, Peggy, a lead magnet could even be like what to pack for a vacation, you know, what to do at a bed and breakfast, like how to make the most of your time, how to make the most fun at a bed and breakfast, you know, what to do in the city that your bed and breakfast is in. So those are some ideas for you as well, Peggy. Okay. So let's go back up. I think we had a couple questions come in. Donald Lynn said that was perfect, that suggestion, so thank you. Glad that was helpful. Meredith, is there a Facebook retargeting tutorial in Corporate Rescue Plan? Yes, there is. I think it's module 8.2. It's back in the 2015 training library, which is actually, so let me get that to you. I'll post that in our Corporate Rescue Plan members group. But yeah, we do have a retargeting tutorial that John put together because he is actually the brain of Facebook ads and Facebook retargeting. And today, actually, he just did, he really doesn't like teaching, or he really doesn't like creating content that much, but big announcement because today he created some content this morning, which is huge for him. He did a training on how to use Pinterest ads that we're going to have in Corporate Rescue Plan here soon as well. So that's going to be in that Pintastic course. So same sort of thing. There's a lot of stuff that you can do on Pinterest as well to work with this whole brick and mortar with your lead magnet, all that stuff. So there's a lot of good information out there. Okay, Anna. Hey, Anna. Corporate Rescue Plan members representing today. She says, I have a SaaS application called FC Pro. I have just launched the ebook for the same market called the Profitable FCP Handbook. Now I want to start a blog on the heels of the book release. Okay, I didn't get the rest of your question, Anna, because it only gives me 4 lines for some reason when I'm on these Facebook Lives. So keep posting the rest of that question. But I think that you should definitely start a blog. I think a lot of your content, oh gosh, if you have an ebook, you can easily take the content of your ebook and put it into blog posts. Like you could plan out all of January's content by doing like a post a day from the ebook, and it's already done. So definitely, like if you have anything you've already done, you can easily repurpose that into blog posts, into even like social media images as well. And I think your topic as well, Anna, will be really good for SEO because I bet you could start ranking for some of those. Some of the things that you have. So when people start Googling, you know, your content and what you do and how you help people, then I think that that would pop up as well. So starting a blog would be a really good idea for you. Hey, Amanda. Oh, Amanda, you had some questions too. I think you messaged me. So let me know them in the Facebook Live too. Okay, and she was planning to do a blog under the Profitable FCP. My question is how to tie these together because I want the blog to be a lead-in to the software. So exactly the same way that our blog is like, so our blog, classycareergirl.com is like the base. It's like the foundation. It's where it's probably where you first found out about me. It's where you first found out about anything that we do, our membership sites, the Freedom Workshop, like anything. And so basically the blog is like that first point of contact that I want to make with people because that's where they'll first find out that we have great content, we have great stuff, we really like to give value and free content out there, and we have a lot of different topics out there and categories, and basically when someone lands on the blog, I want them to know that this is the place to be, this is the place to come back, they always have great content, and I can get answers that I need right here. So I would do kind of the same thing because then every blog post leads to an email opt-in. So we have the email opt-in to enter your name and email address for a lead magnet on every single blog post. So we have it on the bottom of the blog post. We have it on the sidebar. Sometimes we have a pop-up. I know right now we have the pop-up going on for the Freedom Workshop, but we don't always have the pop-up going on because it actually doesn't perform that well. And I don't want to be like in people's faces that much. So Definitely, though, the bottom of every post, the sidebar, and then if it's a blog post that I've created specifically to lead into a lead magnet or a course that I'm doing or a membership site or anything like that, and it's a really good blog post that I put a ton of time into, then I'll actually also create a picture in Canva that says, like, click here to download. So it's like a really pretty picture to download something that has to do with that blog post. So for example, like I was talking about, a blog post all about my best resume tips will have a specific opt-in to download my free resume templates. So if someone from Pinterest came to my blog post, then they'll start reading the blog post, and maybe they'll also want the resume template as well. And so then they'll give me their email address for the resume template. And then it doesn't stop there, because that's where then, Anna, you could lead them in that ebook or whatever that free lead magnet that you're giving away is. Then that leads them into the next phase. So you have to figure out, it's kind of like, it's basically your sales funnel of where you're leading them to. So for example, the one that I just mentioned, so we would have the blog post would be on resume tips. The lead magnet would be a free resume template that we would give them in exchange for an email address. And then that would lead them to maybe our first initial resume makeover course. And then if they purchase that, then that would lead them into our Love Your Career Formula membership site, which is basically for job searchers who want to make a career change, that has like way more stuff that would help them succeed in their career. So that's an example of one of the sales funnels that we have. So you just have to figure out kind of, do you want to go straight from blog post to lead magnet to your app or the profitable FCP, or do you want to go blog post, lead magnet, introductory ebook, because I know you just came out with an ebook. So I don't know if your ebook is free or paid, but you'll probably want to put that in there somewhere. If it's paid, then I would do blog post to paid, $20 ebook or however much you're pricing it, and then into your software. That's probably what I would do. It kind of depends on the price. I don't know what the price is of your software as well, but you kind of want to lead people in higher and higher. You're not just going to do a blog post. You're not going to do blog post to sell anything. We don't do that. We would do, like, for the Freedom Workshop, we did blog post to the Freedom Workshop. You guys will see what's coming up on Friday, because this is all leading to something, and the doors to that will be opening on Friday. I think we're opening doors at 7 a.m. Pacific, 10 a.m. Eastern. But the same thing, like, so you just want to figure out where you're leading them to. But the blog post is really interesting because for us, we've gotten to the point where not every piece of content on the blog is exactly leading into a topic that we have a course for. So this is really fun and interesting because some of the top most traffic articles on our website have nothing to do with career. One of the top ones is how to get back into your exercise routine. That one has gone viral on Pinterest. Another one is how we paid off 80,000 of debt, viral on Pinterest. And so I hope you're seeing the point here is that it's getting people to the website. So if they come to our website looking for help with exercise or with getting out of debt, most likely they're also going to be interested in making some sort of change in their career as well, we have found. And so that's where just getting them to this site, we kind of talked about the pixels too, then I can kind of track who's coming to the website as well and retarget them with something else on a Facebook ad too. So the blog, yeah, you guys all know. I'm a huge fan of blogging. Okay, Anna says, so is it confusing if on the SaaS website the blog link goes elsewhere? Do you have any advice on how to approach this? Okay, so on the SaaS website, the blog link goes elsewhere. Is there any way on that website that you can host that blog on the SaaS website? So like on the top, on the menu bar, it would just have like a blog section. If it's not possible, that's okay. You can host the blog on a different place, but you just want to make sure that it's not confusing for people. You want to, more so than that, you want to make sure that the path is extremely clear. That's one thing we've realized this year, is that every time someone lands on a blog post, the path needs to be super clear. Like, you need to have a plan for the traffic that's coming to your website. You know, we just surpassed 500,000 monthly page views at classycareergirl.com, which was a huge accomplishment that we've been working hard towards. But that's all great, but if I didn't have a plan for all those page views, then I wouldn't have a business. But instead, we know exactly, there's a goal for every single blog post that we have on our website of what we want them to do once they hit that page. Okay, Donna Lynn says, thanks, I appreciate the input. Yes, it's paid. Your ebook is paid. Okay, so that's what I would probably start with. I would do blog post to maybe like a portion of your ebook, or like a checklist or tools list, or any sort of like cheat sheet, something like very simple and quick that your target market can take action with, so that you give that in exchange for their email address. And then like on the thank you page, you can say, thank you, you know, the cheat sheet will be coming to you, you know, but you may be interested in this ebook that we just came out with. And right now there's a discount for blank for our ebook. And so that's kind of the funnel that I would use. So then they buy the ebook. Hopefully the ebook kind of seeds then the actual software. Tracy said, I just signed up with the MailChimp. Do we have any tutorials on how to implement this program for the lead magnet process? There are some links. I know you're in Corporate Rescue Plan, so we do have some links for that in the Corporate Rescue Plan program. But I will tell you, they're linking to MailChimp, because MailChimp has really good tutorials on how to make this all happen. And we have many members in Corporate Rescue Plan who have also done this as well. So if you guys don't know, MailChimp is a great place to get started building your email list. It doesn't cost anything to get started. So it's where I started a while back. And so if you want to just start building your email list, you can do that. But I always recommend just kind of using the MailChimp tutorials, because they're better than I could do at this point. So that's what I would do. But I will link to some for you, Tracy, afterward. Okay. Let's see. Anna says, got it. Helps to hear you talk through it. Thanks so much. Good. Glad it was helpful. Amanda says, hi, Anna. I think I'm getting my mind wrapped around everything. I think the next plan for me is a website, getting a blog going. Planning to create a community through the site. Sorry, Amanda. Oh, here we go. So that I can get an email list going. All that sounds good. So I don't know if I talked too much in the video too yet, but I'm a huge fan of getting a community going around your topic of your website. Really smart. So you guys know this whole Classy Career Network is the community based off our website. So it's a place where I can actually interact with you. I can talk to you guys. I can get to know you. You can get to know me, understand that I'm a human, I'm a real person, and we can do Q&A and we can do back and forth like this. So that's why it's not just like putting content out there and not knowing who's reading it. So that's why I love Facebook groups. I don't know if you wrote something else, Amanda, but I can't see it after like Instagram. Okay, this way I can so that I can get an email list going. This way I can point the best market to launch advertising for the subscription box. Is that about right? Okay, so yeah, so if I was just starting, obviously you touched on a lot of things in the Freedom Roadmap, which is all in video 2 of the Freedom Workshop. Website's important, getting the blog going is important, creating a community is important, and then creating the email list is important. Yeah, it sounds like you have everything going. I think pinpointing, doing surveys and the market research is really important. In video 3 in the blueprint, we'll kind of walk you through all the steps that need to happen, because it sounds like you're in phase 1 of Corporate Rescue Plan. So we'll go through the 5 phases in the next video that's coming out of the Freedom Workshop, and kind of explain to you what needs to get done in every single phase of entrepreneurship. And so you've definitely touched on a couple of the things that need to happen, but more so in the beginning, it's really all about figuring out, your purpose, your mission for your business, like your why. Why do you want to do this? what's your ideal work day, what do you want it to look like, and then doing a ton of market research, making sure you're talking to potential clients, you're doing interviews, and then you're creating your business plan. And all that's kind of like in phase 1, phase 2 of Corporate Rescue Plan. And then it's really diving into the sales, the website, the lead magnet, all that stuff. So that's just kind of a simplified version, but video 3, make sure you watch that, Amanda, because that will dive through all of the phases of entrepreneurship. Awesome. Well, that is the last question. So I will hang on one more second to see if you guys have any other questions. Feel free to post them in the comment section. I have more time to answer questions, so if you have anything, feel free to post them there. So just a reminder, if you have not signed up yet for the Freedom Workshop, it's at www.corporaterescueplan.com/freedom. Please invite your friends, or please invite anyone who is thinking about starting a business or thinking about growing their business at all in 2017. Like I said in the beginning, we've worked so hard on this Freedom Workshop, so I want as many women as possible to see it, because that would just make me happy. And then video 3 is coming out tomorrow, and that is about the startup blueprint. So that's going to really dive into a lot of like the roadblocks that are going to come up and how to kind of get over those roadblocks, as well as kind of walking you through all of the phases of going from employee to entrepreneur. And then the PDF, the blueprint, you definitely want to download, you definitely want to save, and you definitely want to spend some time going through each of the sections of the PDF blueprint that's coming out, because that's going to give you so many ideas and so many ways to move forward. Amanda says, thanks so much. Looking forward to video 3. Awesome. And the videos are very clear and helpful. Oh, good. That's great to hear. We put a lot of effort into them and making sure that they were clear and helpful. And I know I can't stand when I sign up for something and it's not clear and helpful and helps me move forward and take action. So that's why we wanted to make sure you have the videos, but then you also have the workbooks that kind of go hand in hand with the videos as well. All right, Classy Career Girls, we will see you guys tomorrow for the video. And if you have any questions at all, feel free to post in the video comments underneath the videos of the Freedom Workshop, and I will be in there. I'm headed in there right now to answer some questions and to interact with you guys. So thanks for joining me today. I hope you guys have a great day. Bye, everyone.